Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are looking at the card, The Washer at the Ford, from the Arthurian Tarot deck by Caitlin and John Matthews. This is a deck that I purchased in about 1995, I think it was. It's a beautiful deck. I don't even know if it's available for purchase now, but it's based on the Arthurian legends with an understanding of the more mystical aspects of the Arthurian legends. So we're going to talk about the meaning of this card and particularly what the meaning is today, because the meanings, even though the theme is always the same, whenever you pick a card, when you're using your intuition to read the card, there's going to be different aspects of the card that are going to be highlighted to you in each reading that you do, because there's a lot to a card. And so I wanted to use this opportunity to not only give you a tarot reading and a message for you today, but also to give you a way or an insight into how you can use the cards on a daily basis to do readings for yourself or for other people using your intuition. Before we dive into that though, I am Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. I am the creator of the Confident Tarot Reader course. And if you want to know more about how you can read tarot confidently using your intuition, then take a look at the Confident Tarot Reader course in the description field below this video. And if you want to know more about witchcraft, Wicca, tarot, magic, and also shadow work, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. The Washer at the Ford card is equivalent to the Death card in the traditional tarot. So it has the same basic meanings as the Death card. So it's a card of transition. It's a card of endings and beginnings. And generally, they're uncomfortable endings and beginnings. The Washer at the Ford is a character from the Arthurian mysteries or legends. She appears to the knights or the soldiers when they're in battle if they're going to die. So she's like a warning that, you're not going to make it this time. And they see her washing, basically doing the washing, doing laundry, but it's blood-stained laundry. So it's an indication or an omen of death, an omen of transition. We have the crone image on this card. So the crone symbolizes wisdom, the wisdom that we get from life experience. And she also symbolizes death as well. She's the winter energy of, say, a seasonal cycle, the crone energy. And in some Celtic myths, she can be quite harsh. She can be quite harsh. She can be quite cantankerous as well. So the crone can be the loving grandmother and also, really, really harsh, bitey old woman. It really just depends on what her role is in the myth. And also, if you're working with that energy, also the role that energy or the crone character is playing in your life at the time. She can be she's a good teacher, but she can be quite a harsh teacher. So when I looked at this card today, I take notice of this sort of a bluey grey colouring, which reminds me of, it actually is reminding me for some reason of the third eye chakra. So I'm feeling into this card that this card is actually looking at advising you actually to use your intuition to help you through a transition. So it's not an easy transition, it's a change. It's the caterpillar turning into the butterfly type of transition. It's the ending of something. And the period of transitioning into something new, that's why it's called the Death card. And the transition is often not a comfortable transition. It's difficult. There can be grieving involved in the transition. But when we're looking at it from a more conscious perspective or from a spiritual perspective, we're looking at everything that happens in our lives as being part of our purpose and part of our path. And so even the really uncomfortable, horrible stuff is an opportunity to learn and grow from that, which I know for some people may seem harsh, But when you are looking at it from that other perspective, it is what it's doing. And so this card is inviting you to flow through the change. Allow yourself to flow with the water of change. We've got the water here in the background, so that means, you know, it's about allowing yourself to flow and allowing the change to flow through you. Allow it to flow through you. Don't resist the change. Just allow it to flow through you, as uncomfortable as it is. The discomfort in the change is mostly emotional. And when you look at the biology of emotion, they're just chemicals running through your nervous system. That's all emotion is, chemicals running through the nervous system. So if you look at it like that, you can see that emotions can't really hurt you in the short term anyway. And the only reason they can be a problem in the long term is if they're not dealt with. If whatever the emotion is telling you isn't dealt with, then of course it can end up causing, you know, potentially more chronic physical situations. But emotion essentially is chemicals running through your nervous system. And when you can step back and look at it like that, it can actually help you understand that the challenge that you're feeling with the horrible emotional feeling is actually a chemical process. And it's not actually happening to you, it's actually happening within your body. And so you do have the capacity to exert some kind of control over that. You can actually take back your power from the body and work with the emotions in a way that is not getting you stuck there or not having you be basically held hostage by them. So this card is saying to you to go with the flow of whatever it is, transition time that you are going through, even if it is uncomfortable. We've got the wolfhounds in the background, and there's 3 of them, and of course I can't help but think about Hecate, even though she's not Celtic. But you know, this is probably more the energy of the Cayley in the Celtic mythology. But that overall theme of the death aspect of Hecate, the dogs are often associated with death and dying. Dogs are also associated with the ego as well, so they're a very good symbol of the ego. That the ego is meant to be a helpful companion, like a dog can be a very helpful companion, but it's not meant to be the one running the show. It's not meant to be the boss. The owner of the dog, it needs to be the boss of the dog, and otherwise you're just going to end up with, you know, trouble, as any dog owner would know. And so you have to be the boss of the dog, so it's understanding the ego's role in that. And that just reminded me of that. When I saw the 3 hounds, it reminded me of Hecate and the work that you can also do with the crone energy. And Hecate's crone energy, I guess you could say, when she's in that sort of crone aspect, is working with really the ugly stuff, the stuff that we don't want to work with, but just allowing whatever happens to flow through you, and just realize that this is a transition period and that you can turn it into something that is actually positive for you, even if it means a loss of some sort. It's still part of your path. This is part of your path, and it's something that you are walking on, and it's something you have to continue to walk on. It may be a fork in the road, for example, that you didn't expect, but it's taking you there anyway, whether you want to go there or whether you don't. It's where the path is working through you. And so it's a case of, okay, this has happened, how do I make this work for me? How do I make this happen? That's what the message of that card is today. So if you want to become a confident tarot reader, do take a look at my course, the Confident Tarot Reader course. It's there to help you learn to read tarot from your intuition and to understand that tarot tells a story, so that when you get cards together in a spread, even the Celtic cross spread, and you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, how do these cards relate to each other? Or even the question. When you start telling the story of the cards, then it starts to make sense. So The link to that course is in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.